And good morning from the CNET New York Studios. It's the 359 podcast, episode 242. And in the house today, we've got Joan E. Solsman and Roger Cheng. Good morning, everybody. How was your weekend?
Morning.
Good. How was your weekend?
That was all right. I sat around and played Shenmue 2
Wow.
for those obscurists out there.
I know the game well-ish. Actually, never played it, but I'm jealous that I could, having to just sit around all day and play video games.
You're
I
the
played a
one
video
having
game.
kids and stuff.
Huh?
You're the ones having kids and stuff.
But I played a video game, but it was Pokemon Go, which we're going to talk about.
All right.
Exactly.
Good
Very
segue.
relevant. Nice. So we'll be talking about Amazon wholesale or Whole Foods wholesale, which obviously was announced on Friday. We didn't get a chance to really break it down. We're going to talk about that, as well as Jay-Z's new 444 album, which is exclusively on Tidal. And as Joan hinted at, we'll be talking about Pokemon Go and some of the big changes coming to the game, and whether or not you guys are actually still playing it, which Joan is.
I play.
There you go. All right, as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Brian will pick out the best, and we'll get to them in a little bit less than 4 minutes.
3 minutes and 59 seconds to be exact. In 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Joan E. Solsman.
Amazon is getting ready to transform the way we grocery shop. At least that's what we think the online retail giant is going to do with its $13.7 billion acquisition of Whole Foods. For now, Amazon says little will change, but it has to be just a matter of time before we see a big shakeup in the status quo. Joe, what are you looking forward to most from this deal?
Well, we don't really know how things are going to change.
Right.
Both Amazon and Whole Foods were pretty tight-lipped about what this could actually. They didn't tilt their hand a lot.
No conference call for a
No
deal this
conference
big,
call,
which is
like,
really weird. That's unusual.
The Whole Foods CEO is staying in place.
Right,
They
they're
said,
headquartered in
yeah.
Austin still. Yep.
So there's not a lot of big changes that we can kind of piece together. But knowing how Amazon operates, I'm looking forward to better delivery
Yeah.
from Whole Foods. Right now they use Instacart,
Yes.
which works well. But I mean, Amazon, that's their bread and butter. Is
Right.
Getting things.
I mean,
to
they've
you
got
quickly.
Amazon has Amazon Fresh right now. It's in select markets. It's not as broad-based. I don't think it's as widely used as they would like. And I think they're going to use Whole Foods as a kind of way to kind of pump up that part of the business.
And I'm curious about the possibility of lower prices for Whole Foods.
Yeah, it's this weird concept. Whole Foods is sort of known as a premium brand.
Whole paycheck.
Right? Whole paycheck. Exactly. It's all about natural organic foods there. Everything's a little bit pricier than your normal grocery shop. But Amazon's known as a budget brand. So we'll see how those two kind of mix. I'm kind of hopeful that, some of those deals do kind of flow through.
I can't think of any other vertical or whatever you want to call it, any other kind of category where Amazon's gotten in and they haven't lowered prices.
Yeah, that's true. And Amazon has shown in multiple occasions that they're not as worried about near-term profits, right? They're talking about market share. They really want to win your business over, get your loyalty. All right, so next up, Jay-Z's new album, 444, will drop on June 30th, exclusively on Tidal, which is good news for Tidal subscribers and Sprint customers who get Tidal as part of the deal they struck in January. Jay-Z owns a stake in Tidal, so it's not a surprise that it's getting the exclusive. But do you think this makes sense?
It makes sense for Tidal in that the only thing that Tidal really has going for it is the cachet of the artists that are involved. Jay-Z being the most prominent. He's the biggest mover and shaker, has the biggest stake of all the kind of marquee artists that are involved.
Right.
And so all they really have is cashing in on the fact that they've got people like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Kanye and a lot of other really high-profile artists.
I mean, is that enough for people to switch over, though?
That's the problem, though. It's a very... the research says that exclusives don't usually do much because people will sign up, listen to it, and then sign back out again. There's so much churn, and it's so easy to stop paying for that service that it doesn't engender loyalty. But the difference with Tidal is that with Tidal, they sometimes go seriously all in on exclusivity. Like Lemonade, I believe, is still not allowed on Spotify.
Oh yeah,
it's still
yeah.
Beyonce's last album, which was huge. So a little bit of it depends on how long Jay-Z keeps this as an exclusive for Tidal, and we don't know how long it's going to be yet. If it's going to be forever, or if it's going to be more like Life of Pablo from Kanye.
Right, with a shorter window.
Yeah,
right.
which was the shorter window.
All right, lastly, Pokemon Go is getting a few more updates, including an overhaul of its gym and boss battles. It's nearly a year old, so, do you think it's a little too late at this point? Or, you're still playing the game, which is surprising to me, but what do you think of these new updates?
I think that these will be fixing things that are really frustrating about the game.
Right,
Gym battles are really stupid and annoying.
They are. They're just basically, it's the folks who spent all the time and money sitting and camping on these gyms, basically with their superpower Pokemon. They're changing part of it. I don't know. For me, it's like, unless you can get player versus player battles in there, I feel like it's not enough to hook me back in.
I can see that too. And I think a lot of people that left Pokemon, like the two of you, aren't going to be lured back.
Right. What keeps you playing?
I don't know. I walk around the city and I'm traveling around the city all the time. And also, my daughter has figured out that if she says, I want to see a Pokemon around, it means she can play with my phone because she's smart like that.
Yep.
And so once, I don't know. And then you get started. I mean, all the things that keep you suckered into a game have worked, like the streaks and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
But I don't put a lot of effort into it.
And you never spent money on the game, right?
No, never spent money.
All right. For more on these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Joan Solsman.
Thanks for listening.
Boy, people are really talking about this Amazon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a big
Go
deal.
figure.
It's a big deal.
I was
It's
asking
really
you
a big
guys
deal.
before the show, like, did we see this coming at all?
No. I mean, yeah, there was some speculation. I don't know if Whole Foods was actually specifically mentioned.
Right.
But we were just saying, like, the rumor from last week was Amazon was looking to buy Slack, which now I'm wondering is it was some sort of weird smoke screen that they put up to distract everyone from the actual real deal, which is, I mean, it's huge. It's $13.7 billion. Their biggest deal before was at least Zappos for $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is a huge scale for Amazon. It's a huge bet.
Zappos could actually be a good, maybe it could be a good sort of hint at how Whole Foods is going to go, because Zappos has been left pretty much as its
it does
own.
run independently.
It runs
Yep.
pretty independently.
Yep.
Twitch, also a much smaller acquisition.
Yep.
The video game streaming service Twitch, that's also still pretty independent of Amazon. So
It would just
I
seem
don't know.
like that would
Audible?
be...
Audible is much more
Audible.
tightly integrated, I think, though.
But that's because it's built into the
Right.
library, but it's still,
Right.
it for those who have the Audible app,
It's true.
it doesn't change
it's not
anything.
like, we've got Audible, we're shutting it down.
I just
Yeah.
feel like if you're spending this much money, you can't just leave it alone. Like, it just, especially since Whole Foods as a standalone business was not doing well before this deal was struck. I mean, they were shrinking shrinking stores. They were cutting back on the forecast. The fact of the matter is, like, that the whole what differentiated them was all the natural organic stuff. Like, every other store has started offering it at a lower price. So yeah, the whole paycheck thing kind of loses its appeal when you can get the same stuff across the street for less.
Yeah.
A few people are asking if they're going to start cutting jobs or turning them into like Amazon Go stores. I'm
Right.
gonna
It's
a
say
good
this-
question.
I
That
got
is a
this
good question.
one thing that I have my fingers crossed for is that Amazon is the place I go to get obscure old foods like Surge
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Surge Cola.
or Dunkaroos, which
I
are no
remember
longer
those.
Dunkaroos.
they are no longer available stateside. You can only
Oh my
get them
gosh.
imported
That's creepy.
through Amazon. So if those things start showing up on shelves in Whole Foods, I'm all in on this.
Wow. That is a really specific feature or
Market
addition.
to
Yeah.
appeal to.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what this is going to do for
So,
current employees.
They said that they're not going to be laying off any workers at Whole Foods. So initially, the idea is not to like completely reformat what Whole Foods is, and in so doing, cutting off a lot of
Right.
people.
I mean, the fear was, it stemmed from that Amazon Go experiment in Seattle. That's this, like, there are no employees who work in the store. It's basically you just pick up food and you walk out and they'll charge you automatically, which, a lot of people sort of kind of looked at as sort of the future of the death of jobs, which, for one, I don't think they've even gotten it right yet. So I think there was also a New York Post report Ben talked about in his story, the idea of a second floor where it was all automated. Like you picked your food and everything would get boxed and by robots, basically.
So yeah, that's what a few people are speculating also
Right.
in the chat. They said they will probably fire all the workers, replace them with robots, and people will be dazzled by the 5% savings. And I like that Matthew Datcher expanded on this. That previous comment was from Sky Raven. Thank you. Matthew, our good boy Matthew, says, what about a robot and glove combo that allows you to virtually feel what the robot feels, so you can like pick your produce.
Oh, interesting, with like
You can
tactile
see if the-
sensation.
You can
But
like
you also
fondle the
need-
food and like
it
the
needs to
camera
be-
mounted on it, so you know like you're kind of virtually there.
But it
It's
also
like,
needs sense of smell too, like touching,
Oh, true.
fondling your
listen, we got
produce isn't
VR. We're
enough.
not far away from smell-o-vision. We're just getting frighteningly to that Wall-E point. That's all I'm saying. That's all. But what I could see logistically happening is their Amazon Prime, what's it called? Amazon Prime Fresh or Fresh Now?
Amazon Fresh.
So that would become instantaneous.
I
If
don't
you
know.
actually have
I
it in
don't-
your local market, you could synchronize with your zip code and like allegedly make that order online and have it there in an hour.
Yeah, I think
Which
that's
some of them kind
I
of
think
do
that's
offer now, but this is now
probably
obviously
what
an
they're going to
increased
do. That's sort
availability.
of, I think that's a benefit they're going to have on the back end is they'll have access to whatever the warehouses, the places to store that food more locally as opposed to I don't even know how they do it now.
This is
Yeah.
really just one big warehouse real estate hunt for Amazon at this point.
yeah, and then these what's 400 plus stores.
Yeah.
Basically, it's 400 plus hubs that they could then sort of deliver you food a lot more efficiently.
Pamela's asking, do you think you could pay with your Amazon account in store?
I bet that would be
Yeah,
easy.
I'm imagining like Amazon Prime customers will get some sort of like
That would be
benefit
nice.
or something, and it'll
But
be
that- I
easier
mean-
to pay with that. But
Granted, I do my shopping on Amazon to save money. I stay away from Whole Foods to save money.
true.
Also, I got to give a shout out to Dr. Faye in the chat who had the best comment of the day. He says, I as well spent $13.7 billion at Whole Foods.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Sure does.
No, but I think
know.
that's part of the problem though. Is that well,
But that's an interesting idea. The idea that like a Prime customer might get like, with like Prime parents, you get a 10% discount.
yep.
Maybe if you're a Prime subscriber, you get a discount, and that makes Whole Foods prices kind of more at parity with other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what sucks you into the Amazon universe.
True. Maybe they'll send you like an Amazon Prime card to use at Whole Foods or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that could be interesting.
Pocket Mars speculating, would they do a subscribe thing where you can subscribe to your daily or weekly needs?
I mean,
think
they have
that'd be an
subscribe and
yeah.
save now for their own
Yep.
site.
But
so,
now they can localize it.
yeah.
Right. I mean, I think
To an
that's what Amazon Fresh is ultimately going to be like.
Yeah.
And that is an extra fee you have to pay on top of your $100 Amazon Prime subscription.
Right.
So I think that's what they're really ultimately trying to push is pushing that service, getting people subscribed to that, and then using Whole Foods as sort of the backbone for that delivery mechanism.
I liked some of the headlines around this weekend were like Amazon is trying to be Walmart before Walmart becomes Amazon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like there's two very different demographics going on in between the two.
That's true.
Not to be too crass about it, but
Well, right. You saw Walmart buy Jet to try to be more like Amazon. Now
Right.
we're seeing the reverse kind of. And I think that there's definitely going to be a lot more butting of heads between Walmart and Amazon.
I mean it's interesting. It's competition is good for us as consumers.
Oh, yeah.
But there is definitely an air of millennials versus everybody else going on between these two markets.
Yeah,
I
although
don't think it's an age thing.
yeah, I feel like
It's
everyone
income
uses
bracket
Amazon
thing.
now.
Yeah.
Like, that's well, maybe on Walmart from a Walmart perspective.
Yeah.
It's.
But there
I
are
think there's
loyalists
income-
who shop at Walmart, and if they do
I don't
that,
know,
and Walmart
are
offers
there a lot of
them-
millennials that shop at Walmart?
No. That's what I'm saying. Is
Oh, okay.
millennials latch on to Amazon, and like
Yeah, okay.
everybody
Yeah.
else has been on board with Walmart. And if Walmart gives them a better online opportunity, that gives them more chance to stay with their current.
I actually think I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think there's a big age differentiator between Amazon and Walmart. I think it's income bracket demographics.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's probably a much better way to look at it. I'm just getting the Whole Foods hipster vibe going here.
That's true. If
Yeah.
you shop at Whole Foods, you probably don't shop at Walmart.
Probably not. Maybe, but
No.
Some of us do both.
Yeah.
Well, if there was a Walmart around,
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say,
Walmart,
like,
we're all in
what-
New York.
got to go deep out into Jersey.
Well, I mean, I live in Long Island, so
There's one in Long
I
Island,
do. Yeah, I do have a Walmart near me. I went in once and marveled at it because it was so big.
Yeah.
And I walked
I
back
worked
out.
at Walmart before I came here.
Really?
Yeah.
As a
Were you a greeter?
No. Would you let me greet people? No, I was.
Mothers would like turn their children around. And,
Welcome to Walmart. What do you want? No, I was dry grocery. So that was
okay.
my retail experience because we had one of the largest on the East Coast where I was at the time.
wow.
where was this?
I worked out of one in Pomfret, New York, which is a suburb of Fredonia, where I went to
I
school.
worked
Okay.
in Fredonia.
It was a good work experience. You definitely met a number of characters, And I lost like 20 pounds that summer because I had to walk miles on miles on miles every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Wow.
When we're talking, though, about Walmart versus Whole Foods, it's important to point out, so Whole Foods has, what was it, like 400-something locations? Is that right?
Oh, Whole Foods or
Whole
Walmart?
Foods.
Whole Foods, yeah.
And
400
then Walmart
plus.
has like 2,000
Yeah.
locations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no comparison.
They're
between-
everywhere except for New York.
Right.
yeah. All right. Probably about time to wrap it up. A few last-minute comments. Pamela speculates that Amazon Fresh will now be the biggest supermarket on the web. Chris Gonzalez is wondering if Amazon Fresh will result in being cheaper now that they are more localized through Whole Foods to an extent. And then Jacob puts the pin in it, saying, I think whoever can get to your door fastest with the most convenience will win this. And as of right now, Amazon is ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's ultimately what this is about, is trying to get you food, get your food delivered faster, right?
I think it's so amazing that we've gotten to the point where like going to the grocery store is inconvenient.
Too much of a hassle?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say,
Those
like,
of us who complain about the 30-second coffee
going
machine
with
here in the
my
office.
kid and I, like my kid and my wife, that is kind of a hassle. I kind of dread doing it now. Like, it takes, if I went by myself, it would take like minutes, but with my kid, it's like an extra 30
I
minutes.
always wind up behind the old woman with like 37 coupons. And I got nothing against using the coupons. I clip them myself, but I will always end up against that lady who watches too much extreme couponing.
It's true. With all this, I mean, you could sit at home and play Shenmue even longer. Spend way more time.
Got to spit that back in my face.
It's an interesting game to choose for a weekend in.
I mean, it's an easy one to binge on.
I guess it is.
I was really busy moving forklifts.
All right. If you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Feedburner, and Google Play Music. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.